Okay, well, let's... I'm doing it. Well, I did it for, like,
An attempt was
5
made.
meters. Hi, I'm Splashes, and welcome to Minecraft Maniacs 4. Today, we start the actual construction of the creeper farm and not just digging the giant hole behind us. So, I've gone ahead and gathered all of the redstone materials I think I will need. I still need to make 11 more dispensers, but I think beyond that, I think I have everything that I will actually need, redstone-wise, to build this thing. So, hopefully I'm right. If not, I have some more redstone stuff over uh, in my house over there. Also, you might notice that the wall here is actually quite a bit higher than it is all the way around here. Originally, that is a weird glitch. Originally, I was planning on making this thing to all go at level 80, but since then, I've decided to raise the farm up to level 90, which should let me fit an extra uh, stack, or an extra spawn stack the uh, inside the farm, which should increase the yield by about 25%. And also because the way I'm planning to have the things, or the outside things come in, like there's planning to be a large ring that will extend around, that will be at the height of 90, which will be right there. And that's just so then it will still stand quite a bit above that terrain, and it should look fairly nice. And then with the design I have planned, we need 110 blocks in order to make everything look right and be able to have it climb, or its rise over its slope. That's the word. Its slope be a 5/1. That it should be able to all look right, I guess. And that will rise it up to a height of 200. So we'll be raising the base floor up to 90, which is here, and then these center bits will raise to a height of 115. And with that, we should have the basic setup for what they're planning to do. So, with that, I guess we can get started. Yay! Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and make the hopper dropper system and the kill area for the creeper farm, as well as what will eventually send our uh, items up to storage and processing so they can be used. So if I've done this correct, so we have the hoppers and magma stuff will go here, which means we have the chest here, which means here should be the dispenser, but we need to raise it one up because there's a piece of bedrock there, so we can't dig it into the bottom. So we put the dropper there. We will need to build this all up, I think. No, this will come down, 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 down. Is that right? So I have a piece there. So we put a comparator here, and a redstone. Oops, that is another comparator, and a redstone repeater. This is actually the first time I've ever built something using a redstone comparator. Like the first time in survival I've actually ever built a redstone comparator. That's kind of neat. We do that. 1, 2, tree. 1, 2, tree. Okay, so we'll see if this is working. Oh, it seems to be in subtract mode. There we go. And it is now spitting out all of our cobblestone, which I am hopefully picking up. Yes, I am. Good. Okay, cool. So that circuit works. Now from here we have a hopper that goes here, as well as we will have a hopper on this side and a hopper here. On top of this, you know what, whatever. Okay, pick our stuff back up, because I thought I had more chests, but I don't, or any wood for that matter. So you can hop on here, click, click. Oops, that's two separate chests. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, jeez. Where'd it go? Oh, it's in my inventory. Okay. So now the reason why we're doing this is because this loop here will fire this dispenser 5 times a second, but hoppers can only move things at 2.5 times a second. So if the system gets really full, this will let the dispenser be able to, or this will let the hoppers be able to keep up with the dispenser, so we're not firing the dispenser on ticks when there's nothing in it, basically. From here we go, and to do that, we now have, oops, oh, darn it, I hate when I do that. We have, I'm terrible at this. So we have these 3 hoppers, as well as 1, 2, 3. I keep doing that. 2, 3. And then we want this to be right into center, so the next line goes here. But we still want it to dump into this chest. I think I had to make like 21 hoppers for this setup. And so that gives us the basic hopper setup. And from here, we can... I need to grab a rail. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, so I've been up and got some rails, and hopefully now I'll have the stuff I need. The first thing I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to build a little wall around these top things, so that way the minecarts maybe are less likely to get stuck. Hopefully. Maybe. Please. Cool. Except for the fact that I do not have a way to get into this thing now. Okay, there we go. So, I guess I will start from this corner. Put the track down. Put my hopper minecart on top of it. And then I need to come and break that. So now it's on the ground. And it ate the rail. So I put this here, that there. Oops. Put this here. Does this actually protect me now? It does, kind of. It just still makes scary noises. Put that. Nope. Put that there. And I go crafting table. I just make a redstone block to push these things. There we go. That should be good enough. And there we go. The first one is done. So now I just need to do the next 8. Okay, so with that I have the basis for the hopper dropper system as well as the killing floor done. I was able to get all 9 hopper minecarts in here, though it did take a number of tries. I wound up using slabs here, which let me hold the hopper minecart in place while still breaking the slab underneath. And then I wound up having to use a double piston to move the magma block, or to move the piston so then I could move the magma block, because I wasn't able to get the piston facing the right direction. We put in the water stream here, so stuff when it comes into here will go through the system, pops out here, and starts going up the water stream. And this water stream will go all the way up to level 90, and we should be able to get, hopefully, a lot of gunpowder from this farm. So I'm going to go ahead and finish setting up the killing floor, as well as finish getting this stuff to go up. And see you soon. So I've gone ahead and filled in the bottom layer now, and added the water. So that should be it for the killing floor. And assuming I've done this correctly, if I throw something down here, it should flow into the magma blocks, and that will then send it through the dispenser, and they should pop up right here behind me at some point. So let's see if that happens. We'll just throw some fish. Goodbye, fishies! Now to see if they come up. Oh, wait, I thought I saw... Yep, I'm getting fishies! It's working! It's working! Oh, I'm so excited! Yay! What's going on? Yay! 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 Okay, well, I suppose my next step is to begin creating the various modules, and I think I'm going to do that in a time-lapse. Okay, so we're back in the creative world, and there's the previous design that we had showed for the creeper farm, and today I've been working on the redstone circuits. So I wanted to be able to have a way that I could first transfer the signal down to tell the pistons when to fire for having the system on or off. And that's sort of what this entire system is. But I also wanted to make sure that because I didn't want to use a column of observers, what I actually wound up using is hoppers and droppers. So when you press this button, it sends a signal to... Sorry, actually I used hoppers and dispensers. It sends a signal to the dispenser, which fires the... which drops an item, which goes into this hopper, which goes into the dispenser. Now what happens here is then this comparator picks up that signal, it then fires a 1-tick pulse, which sends it back out, and then this would go on into the service floor. And then same thing down here at this level. Except for this one, the dispenser at the bottom will point into the water stream. So it will shoot the thing out, and then it will float all the way back up, come back out, and go down into the hopper at the top. And what this lets us do is, so there's only one item in the system flowing around. So the dispensers will only fire when the item passes through it. And it also means that you can't hit the button too fast, that the system will jam up or break. And so what we've done is to make sure this thing is able to work as we want it to. We have an AND gate here. So this button will only work when when this light is on. So the dispenser will only trigger when there is an item in here and the button is pressed. It won't do it if one or the other is true. It has to be both true. And then it flows around and comes back up, and then everything is reset. And if we fly over here, we can see that the lights light up in sequence, and then it comes back up to the top. Just like that. Now over here, we have the switch system, or basically the decoder. Because we don't have enough room, really, to put on and off signals, we just have a single signal, and then from that signal, the machine has to understand what it's supposed to do. It needs to understand whether it's supposed to turn off or on. So what I've done here is I have a couple of AND gates, and this is the incoming signal. And then I have two pistons here which move a redstone block back and forth. And this redstone block then powers these circuits. So if the block is here, it then powers this circuit into here. So now when the button is pressed, the power comes here, this flicks on for a moment, and it switches to side. And that lets us basically tell the thing whether to be on or off. From there, these things go off, and you need a 1-tick pulse because otherwise these things will just stay on. And if you do that, then the system could have the problem where it may not actually push the blocks because you have an extended piston. So we use the 1-tick pulse to make sure that these pistons only push 1 tick and then they go back down. So if we go up, you can see sort of what we're talking about. So you flick it on, that one popped up for a moment, and then flick it the other way, and the other one pops up. Now, in reality, these things won't be both facing the same direction. One of these will be upside down and will trigger the floor underneath it. So the entire thing would be set up something vaguely like this, where you have these two pistons back to back to push these things up and down in order to make sure our columns work. And we will need one of these. This is the service floor that we were talking about, and we'll need one of these every 4 levels. And in the design we currently have, we should be able to fit 5 units, or 5 stacks, where a stack is from this piston here, flying all the way up to this piston here. And that should give us quite a lot of gunpowder. Okay, so this has actually been a lot more complicated than I thought it was going to be. Because in the creative world, you have so much more space. You can lay everything out nicely. I hadn't really considered how the lack of space was going to impact things, but I have been able to get everything to be able to fit all together in this quite small space, though there will be spots where you will have little breaks in the walls where redstone will be sort of poking out through, but the mobs won't be able to catch on it. I also had the problem that I found that if you put the pistons butt to butt, there's no way to power this piston without also powering this piston. So I had to make the service floor 3-tick, which I suppose is fine. It just took me a long time to figure that out. And thank goodness for hard power, or this entire system just wouldn't work at all. Originally, because I didn't have to use all of these repeaters when I planned it out in the creative world because I had the more space to operate in, I hadn't considered, really, how much redstone this was actually going to take. Just making this first stack used 76 repeaters, and I had originally guessed 80 repeaters for the whole thing. But in the meantime, what I'm going to need is lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of wood, because we have to make a ton of trapdoors. And I think the number is roughly around 5,000 trapdoors for all 5 stacks together. And we've obviously only built the first stack. I've only put the trapdoors in part of the first. I am really terrible at taking off. Just awful at this. We'll get better someday, I hope. Also, we got a kitty. This is Cookie. Hi. I have a cat in real life called Cookie, but we were able to get her out of the jungle yesterday after making an ocelot grow up, and someone else left their cat here. It doesn't have a name. I can't do anything with the dider, so it's just there. But so far I have like 2.5 stacks of wood stuff. And so in the meantime, I will get started on this. This is a really fun way to mine trees too. Ooh, and now I'm right on top of the tree. Oh, this one didn't actually hit quite as center as I would have liked. Still no problem. I'm gonna have to also go ahead and repair my axe at some point. It has mending, so I just need to go over to the community ender farm. right now I have 3 of these spots set up, though I found out that when you make these giant spruce trees, they turn the ground into puddle, which is really ugly. That's gross. And the first one I spawned it like right here, and it just turned this entire hillside into this gross stuff, which was yucky. But I will get to work on this, and hopefully come back once I have completely filled up the first stack with the trapdoors, and we can start testing the system, and that should be really exciting. See you soon! So I've been doing a fair bit of building since the last bit that I recorded, and I guess I was just tired of Redstone, just really wanted to build something, but also I needed to build the storage system, so you can actually see that we've built this up quite a bit. Oh, no, okay, I didn't die. Still not very good at flying. So, this is all up to level 90 now, and it comes down into this little area here, where all of the stuff will be sent to, so all of the gunpowder will go in here, and the sugarcane from the eventual sugarcane farm will go in here, and I've added basic UI stuff, but it hasn't actually been connected to anything, so eventually this would flip on, or this would flip down, and then the system would be on and running, and then when the system was full, this would still be on, but this would come on, and the system would stop running, and then if the thing's ready to be switched, then this light will also light up, if that made any sense. But I needed to add a little storage system here, so the stuff that comes up previously now just runs down this little ice path into these hoppers here, which then pop the stuff down into the chests, and should be able to pop the stuff into the chests at the same rate because they're 2 hoppers, or at the same maximum rate as the hopper dropper system in the bottom. Not that we should come remotely close to those numbers. And then this here is the start of the system, which will shut the gunpowder farm off once it has enough, or once the storage system is full. And just having a little comparator here, so when this thing gives off a or when this chest is giving off a signal of 15 that it's full, it will be stronger than the signal coming out of here, which is 14, and will give the signal and turn the system off. So I've also gone ahead and added a maintenance floor, or basically here will be the maintenance area. The top set of downward facing pistons will be here, as well as the other stuff to connect it to over there and connecting it up to the eventual sugarcane farm. But one thing I did learn, though, or realize, I guess, because of needing to make the service floors 3 thick, in order to stick with the plan as I had originally made it, I have to make I can only do 4 layers instead of 4 stacks instead of 5 stacks, because we have this sort of strange dead space in here that's like 6 blocks tall, and it would be taller, but I lowered it slightly because I thought that would make it look nicer when you're up here. How you sort of, since the ring here will be at a level of 90, so you sort of come in here and you go down a little bit, and then the horizontal bits will go, they'll be at level 115, I think is what I selected. I might have done 105, because I think 115 just felt really, really tall. But let's see, hopefully, maybe there's something in the bubbles. Oh, it's raining. Yay, my bed's wet. And we got absolutely nothing. So I think the trapdoor trick for spawning creepers might not work in this version. Unless somehow I've messed up and the lights weren't on, or the lights were on, but they shouldn't have been. I'm pretty sure they weren't. Now I'm second guessing myself if I even did it right. Oh jeez. Okay, well, I guess that will be all for now. So on that disappointing ending, I'll see you next time. But at least the building's starting to take shape. Bye bye.